It truly is mind-boggling. There is not a single point that they make that is correct. Not a single one.
Not giving away $1 million gift certificates for voting, supporting the right side. It must bother people. And that Republican candidate, did you see that weird answer he had? I don't care what's going on about his spending his money. Of course you care. He's spending money for your side. You got to talk about that and what voters feel about that. This is democracy. You don't have to. You shouldn't be buying elections so flagrantly. And look at this. This is flagrant. Look at the check. Look at the $1 million checks. I think people would say, I don't want to have anything to do with this kind of.
I think it's insane that this race has. This is yet another race where the needle is moved, where there are hundreds of millions of dollars being spent on a special election on a Supreme Court judge. How do people not realize that this is insane? How do people not look at this and go, dude, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like Elon Musk doing this comical $1 million check thing is not even the most psychotic aspect of this. Elon Musk personally contributed to the hundreds of millions of dollars that have been spent on this, right? Spent on this individual race, but like they're spending Senate race money now. America is so cooked, man. How is this democracy? How is this democracy?
Joining me now is Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA. Charlie, great to see you tonight. Now, we have seen a lot from the Democrat Party since 2020. We've seen what they're capable of. But what is it about Elon Musk and what he's doing that really has turned them into insane, total lunatics and criminals?
It's two primary things. Just like President Trump, he's a class traitor. He used to be part of the ruling class of the country, and he decided to defect from the orthodoxy of what it means to be a wealthy, polite person in America.
What is this haircut? What is this haircut, bro? It's like the Vegeta. Like he went to the barber and was like, "Give me the Vegeta. I need that." Is a straight up pyramid on his forehead. What is happening? Most nerds try to hide the receding hairline. Kirk is displaying it. I don't know what he's trying to display here. It's just wild. It's especially funny because his head is so large and his face is so tiny on his ginormous head. So then there's way more real estate here.
America and said, you know what? No, I'm not going to go along with the zeitgeist of the times. I'm going to challenge this idea that we have open borders and that we're wasting all of this money. So he is a class traitor, and President Trump is the most popular class traitor of this generation. So President Trump and Elon Musk have that in common. But number two is he used to be a darling of the left. Not as much as President Trump. I'd never say that President Trump was on the left, but he used to be loved by all these networks. But Elon Musk used to be the poster child of environmentalism, of clean entrepreneurship, of forward-thinking innovation. Barack Obama used to do cameos and newspaper articles and interviews alongside Elon Musk saying this is the best of the American entrepreneur. But now that Elon Musk has decided to use his fame and, most importantly, his fortune to uncover the hundreds of billions of dollars of waste and to support President Trump, they have now unleashed the hordes of left-wing activists after Tesla owners, dealerships, workers, even cheering on the decline of the Tesla stock. So President Trump and Elon Musk being class traitors and formerly friendly.
Class traitors. Yesterday, we covered Alex Jones talking about the dialectic. Today, we're hearing Charlie Kirk utilize the term class traitors. What did you think of Tesla back in 2014? I have never been a fan of Elon Musk. There's never been a moment where I liked Elon Musk. One, because I thought he was too annoying, and two, because he's a billionaire. Okay? If you have an inherent antagonistic attitude towards billionaires, you are always going to be in the right. Okay? Do not trust billionaires. They will always betray you. That's it. You can't make $1 billion. You rich too? Oh my God. One, you should also have an inherent antagonistic attitude towards rich people, myself included. Okay? That is healthy. That is a healthy thing to do. But if you are comparing me to someone like Elon Musk, you are stupid, okay? Me, you, and even people who have $100 million, as a matter of fact, are closer to a homeless person on the street than they are to Elon Musk. Do you understand? Like, people with $100 million are still closer. It sounds insane. It sounds impossible to comprehend. People with $1 billion, I believe, are closer to homelessness than they are to Elon Musk. That is how much Elon Musk's wealth, that's how large Elon Musk's wealth is. You have no understanding of anything, numbers, size, anything. If you cannot comprehend this. 1 million seconds is like 13 days. 1 billion seconds is 32 years. If I asked you to wait 1 million seconds, you'd be waiting for 12 days. If I asked you to wait 1 billion seconds, you'd be there for 34 years roughly. Something along those lines. Do you understand how different of a scale that is? Do you understand how insane that is? I think the problem is with numbers, people have no understanding of the difference between 1,000 and 1 million. And people have no understanding of the difference between 1 million and 1 billion, let alone hundreds of billions. Okay? The scale, the magnitude difference there is impossible to comprehend. I don't know how else to describe it. We're talking just about 1 billion. Elon Musk has 300 of those 1 billions. Here is Recful explaining. This is a very famous thing that he did a long time ago. Rest in peace to Recful. Describing the difference between billionaires and millionaires.
Now, we have someone named Amhai who is top Twitch donator of all time. He has like probably $1 billion, right?
Right.
There are people in the world with $1 billion, regardless. Okay. Anyways, $1 billion, that's a big number. We can see that there's a lot of zeros on top of the 100,000, but we don't really feel it. You don't really feel it until you go like this. Maybe you know it's 10,000 times more, but here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 500,000. Copy paste that. That's $1 million. Okay. Then we have to go 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 million. Let's copy paste that. That's 10 million. Okay. Let's copy paste the 10 million. That's 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $100 million. Okay. Let's copy paste the 100 million. Okay. That's 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, $1 billion. Okay. And now I'm Amhai, and I'm going to donate Soda Pop in $100,000 like this.
Was that the delete key?
Yeah. And now we're going to try to find the money that we're missing now. Okay?
It's on the right. It's on the right. I see it. There it is.
You saw it. It was right there. But it's kind of hard to feel it. If I put it somewhere in the middle, you guys probably wouldn't find it. But you know what? You wouldn't find it for sure. Let's donate $2 million to my good friend Vinruki. And he could... Actually, let's donate this. Let's donate $4 million. He could probably live a swell life with $4 million. Here, I'm Amhai. I'm giving Vinruki $4 million. Real quick. $4 million. I actually do not notice it's gone. I can never find it again. It's really difficult. You know? Because it's just lines missing. I'm not going to count my lines. There's so many. Jesus Christ.
I don't think you guys understand. This is just 1 billion. Elon has 300 plus of these, okay? It is impossible to comprehend. People do this all the time. There are a million YouTube videos about this. Like, you got so many different YouTubers who have tried to explain this, the scale, the magnitude, how different how different the numbers look like. It's so funny. Whenever people come in, and go, Hasan, you're rich too, big dog. You and I are not even a speck of dust together, okay? In comparison to one guy's wealth. This is just one guy. There are hundreds of guys like Elon out there. Yeah, I mean, eat the rich text format. Wealth shown the scale. Here. Oh, you got to go right. Yeah. $1,000. 63 is the median U.S. household income. Here's $1 million. Here is $1 billion. Here's $139 billion. And that's Jeff Bezos. It's still going. Still going. Still going. Jeff's so wealthy that it's quite literally unimaginable. Let's keep going. Still going, still going, still going, still going, still going, still going. Maybe it'll go, maybe it'll be done eventually. We rarely see wealth inequality represented to scale. This is part of the reason Americans consistently underestimate the relative wealth of the super rich. Still going. Look at the bar down here. Like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this because it still goes. It's still, like, look at the bar. And by the way, this was when Jeff Bezos had 139 billion. His wealth has gone up, obviously, since then. Please, please, please try to comprehend. This is not only one rich person, he's not the richest person. Elon Musk is almost 3 times wealthier than Jeff Bezos. Now, that in and of itself is not even the full scale of the problem. Okay? That in and of itself is not even the full scale of the problem. The entire system is designed from the bottom up to represent the interests of people like Elon Musk, all the way down to the individual small business owner, those who own capital, those who hire people, hire wage laborers. Do you understand? So it's not even just like one singular billionaire could potentially solve this issue. It's not even that Elon Musk could, if he tomorrow got hit with like the socialism beam, would be able to dismantle the capitalist structure. One person cannot do that. Elon Musk, being as wealthy and as powerful as he is, would still not be able to do that on his own. Okay, he would not be able to buy his way to socialism. That, of course, would be stupid anyway. Why would he do that? Of course he wouldn't do that. The only way to change this system is through the bottom up. The only way to change the system is by recognizing your class position, okay? The only way to change the system is by organizing. Because at the end of the day, the one thing that you have, the one thing that we all have is numbers. If this was a truly democratic process, we would have been able to undermine this current existing hierarchy a long time ago. I could have $1 billion and it would be nowhere near, that money alone would not be able to put a dent in the structures that exist. As opposed to me doing this every day to 35,000 people. That is significantly more important. Let's continue.
With the left, boy, that animates them because they're trying to say, to make an example, you are not allowed to leave the ranks of high society left-wing thought.
Oh, sharp analysis, Charlie. All right. Turning Point USA, I know, spoke to some of these protesters in Phoenix. Let's watch.
We need to focus on getting Musk out.
And he has absolutely no right to have his sticky rich fingers in the American people's money.
Elon Musk is in our Treasury Department with his 19-year-old cronies, and I'm worried about my Social Security.
He should be locked up and removed from this country.
He has absolutely no idea what he's doing. It is my understanding that Elon Musk does not have any kind of degree in economics.
So I don't get it. None of those guys said anything wrong. Oh, sorry, I burped. None of those guys said anything wrong. They were correct. What's the problem here? That they just like disagree? Is that what it is? Normally, at least they try to find people that they can like belittle and claim are just like silly or whatever. But in this instance, like they didn't even get any. They didn't even catch anyone like being silly or whatever. They just disagree with them, I guess.
Oh, I'd like to see his degree. Charlie, it's all the same tired talking points. Some of them don't even look like they believe what they're saying. It's almost like a performative experience for them.
That's right. First of all, credit to our amazing Turning Point USA team of front lines of gathering that footage. Some of those protesters can get rather violent, so they've done a great job. The left right now, if they get their way, they want to destroy the singular most successful American manufacturing story of the last couple decades. We're actually building cars in our country, and we're building rockets in our country, and we are the world leader on both, and they want to destroy both of that. Why? Because the politics don't align. And you can hear with some of those protesters, I totally agree, Laura. There's no thought. It's just repeating what the media has told them. But one thing that they mentioned at the end, what's his degree in economics? That's so important because Elon Musk is not an approved credentialed elite. He's not an expert. He's not a Dr. Fauci type. Instead, he built something. And that is a true threat to the American left. Someone that has taken a risk, that has built something of value, especially in the hardware space, not just the software space.
Charlie, very briefly, this Wisconsin Supreme Court race tomorrow is critical. And the media coverage of this is, Elon Musk is pouring all this money. Yeah, he is pouring a lot of money. And it's not as much as Soros and the gang, the billionaires on the left, because they want to take at least those 2 seats that could be gerrymandered with the Supreme Court's help and flip the House. That's what the ultimate goal is, and they hope ultimately impeach Donald Trump. That's what this is about, and the media coverage of this is, it's typical.
It's massive. Wisconsin is the biggest election of 2025, according to the Wall Street Journal. We have Turning Point Action folks on the ground right now chasing ballots. We need massive turnout. If we lose in Wisconsin, we will not lose to the Democrats. We'll lose to the couch. We will lose because we did not go and show up in record numbers. We need a working class movement tomorrow in major numbers to make sure that Schimmel wins the Supreme Court race, because if not, it might result in the Democrats winning the House in 2026, and then impeachments and subpoenas, and the sequence of events from there would be detrimental to our republic. And it all starts tomorrow in Wisconsin. Also the special election for Randy Fine in Florida. Big
XQC's SF90. XQC has more money. XQC has more money. Yeah, he does. I know. What's the point? He also he has no motion in comparison to Elon Musk. Juicers are so funny. I think the amount of money you have does not make you a better person regardless. I don't even think XQC would agree with that. Who cares? Why are you flexing another man's wealth? That's so strange. So odd. I have more money than you and your dad combined. Does that make me a better person? Probably not. I would go so far as to say having more money usually, more often than not, makes you a worse person overall. Big
election time. I know we just got over an election, but tomorrow, big election day in Wisconsin and Florida. Go out and vote.
You bet, Charlie. Everyone's got to get off the couch and get to vote. Charlie, thank you as always.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page.
Meanwhile, Democrats pull an all-nighter protesting Trump and Musk on the Senate floor. Careful, there's an increasingly large possibility that Chatter is Elon Musk's kid. Is Charlie Kirk so successful on TikTok because he's convinced right-wingers that they are the party of the working class? It's just the algorithms have boosted him. And it was most likely to get a guy who's in Trump's ear, who's in Trump's orbit, to feel safe about TikTok. And they succeeded. TikTok opened up the algo faucet for the likes of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk popped off big time. Donald Trump got a lot of benefits off of TikTok. It's not just TikTok, of course. I think all social media platforms have been pumping right-wing comments, right-wing commentary, like flooding the marketplace with unrestricted right-wing commentary for quite a while. And they did it in a way where they could finally see the benefits. Like the Republicans could finally recognize the benefits. And therefore, we are where we're at now, where the right loves TikTok. Trump loves TikTok. All but Reddit and the right-wing grifters are so mad about that. I mean, Reddit is also kind of right-wing from where I'm standing. Because they're knapsack liberals,
Didn't take no hero to fly.
Yeah, their filibuster is getting like 67,000 views on the live stream.
And I knew then and there that I really liked
him.
Because he was right. The real heroes were the buddies who carried me out.
It's weird. As chatters are saying, Megaphonics is right. It's not even a particular bill or nomination. They're just doing a long speech for PR. I just don't understand why they didn't do this for the clean, for the supposed clean continuing resolution. If they had deployed this filibuster, if they filibustered in some during the CR, this would be a fantastic opportunity. all eyes locked in. This would be great. This would be the right opportunity. Megaphonics is right. Now say April Fool's please, or we'll never hear the end of it. I mean, he's right. When he's right, he's right. I'm fair, man. I call balls and strikes. Cory Booker's anti-Trump speech on the Senate floor has lasted 19 hours and counting. It just doesn't, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, look, I'm not going to discount it. It's not the worst thing. I'm glad that they're like fighting, I guess. But even when they are, it just doesn't make any sense. I got to pee again.
Let's talk a little bit about while you were sleeping. It all started about, 11 hours ago. It looked just like that. Cory Booker, the senator from the state of New Jersey, started a marathon speech, and he made it very clear. He said, I'm going to keep going as long as I'm physically able. And what he's doing, and is doing live right now as he puts on his glasses, is he's talking about the actions taken by Donald Trump over his administration thus far. Not happy about any of it. But keep in mind, he's part of the Democratic leadership in the Senate, and Democrats are under pressure from their base to do more to stand up to Donald Trump.
How does this work?
So he's standing up against Donald Trump, even though Donald Trump is down the street.
Do the senators all have to be there?
Nope.
They have to stay there all night?
No, it's not even blocking
Just him.
Is he speaking to anyone?
Nobody.
So he just wants national
Maybe he
attention.
has a few fans.
Well, there are a couple other senators who occasionally ask him questions, and he yields the floor. But by yielding for a question, then he still controls the floor. This is not a filibuster, by the way.
So here's what did you miss last night when you made that dumb decision to sleep?
I rise with the intention of disrupting the normal business of the United States Senate for as long as I am physically able. I rise tonight because I believe sincerely that our country is in crisis. We are not solving the deficit in what they're proposing here. They're cutting and cutting and cutting things that make no sense to cut, and they're doing it for tax breaks which disproportionately go to the wealthiest. Placing tariffs on our biggest trade partners is beyond unfair. This drives the cost of goods up, and the consumer is the one who ends up paying the increase. Even with universities got too woke and had too excesses, the antidote to that isn't to try to shut down the thought of the left. It's to try to make a fair, more competitive marketplace for ideas from all around the political spectrum.
How would you do that?
I mean, there's just several things that he said are just not true. He's still running on the tax cut for the rich. Not true. And most Americans understand that, and they believe that under the past administration.
I really hate Fox and Friends. I really, really hate it. It might be my least favorite program on television. It's just like objecting to observable reality every day of the week. That's all they do. All they do is just up is down, right is wrong. That's all they do. They just sit there and go, everybody knows it. This is wrong. It truly is mind-boggling. There is not a single point that they make that is correct. Not a single one. Why do we even watch it every day? Genuine question. Because Fox is one of the most successful broadcasters. It's the same reason why we watch Asmongold from time to time. Okay? You have to understand what your ideological enemies are saying and thinking in order to claw back your parents and your coworkers from the faucet of misinformation. You have to see what their notes are, where they're getting their notes from. This is why my entire career is overwhelmingly listening to right-wingers. And in that process, as a dedicated watcher of right-wing commentary, I have noticed that in the last couple of years, this has gotten significantly worse. Things have gotten spectacularly stupid. Genuinely. It's just, there's not too much you can say or do about a person that is getting their notes. A person that is getting their notes from Fox News is not living in the real world. They are living in a made-up universe. They are not, it's just, there's no way that you can have a consensus.
When Donald Trump had his first term, that they got a tax break. They know that to be true. He also talks about the campuses. So you're going to side with the people that are blocking the Jews from going to class right now? That's not going to work with the American people. And just over and over the talking points. If you want to get the American people attention.
Like every single thing he said is wrong, okay? He started out by saying, everybody knows that it's just not true that Trump is not looking for taxes to the wealthy. Yes, he is. He is looking for taxes to the wealthy. That is precisely what he did his first term, and that's precisely what he said he's going to do the second term. I don't know why you would even deny this. That is precisely what he said.
Understand it, and they...
Okay. Then he turns around and talks about university campuses, claiming that the students are blocking Jews from going to class. Also, not true. Completely not true. It's not happening. Not real. I was there. And members of this community were there every day. It's not true at all. Okay? They were in a public space in the middle of campus. They were not blocking Jewish students from going to class. It is made up.
With the people that are blocking the Jews from going to class right now, that's not going to work with the American people. And just over and over the talking points. If you want to get the American people attention, you don't do it on the floor of the Senate.
Wait, I'm sorry. And then he follows this up by hitting one of the dumbest points, which is to turn around and be like, you can't protest this way. This filibuster is not allowed. It's like, what are people supposed to do then? Just quietly whisper to one another what their discontent is with the administration? Like, what are we talking about? That's so funny. The Fox guy's saying he has like 50,000 viewers on YouTube, 58K on TikTok, and like 30K on Twitter. Yeah, I think that this right here, even if it's like aesthetic resistance, paired up with Bernie Sanders and AOC getting a lot of attention, a lot of positive attention, should be a reminder to every Democrat that, like, you have to fight back. You have to fight back against the Trump administration.
You go and you start talking with voters. I'm not sure he's going to...
town hall, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure this is going to get much attention. I mean, we're probably the only people that are covering this right now. I don't think the American people care what he's saying on the floor.
Lord, here I am. And so I could confess...
Be in a world of Schumers, be a Booker. Oh, my God.
That I have been imperfect. I confess that I've been inadequate to the moment. I confess that the Democratic Party has made terrible mistakes, that have given lane to this demagogue. I confess we all must look in the mirror and say we will do better. And it's not just defining ourselves what we're against. We, the next generation, as the baby boomers are leaving the...
Yeah, they're not even doing like a real filibuster because there's no motion. There's no quorum. There's no motion or bill that they're blocking. It's just they're taking space. That's what it is. Overall, I think I'm leaning on the side of this is not the worst thing. I am not going to yell at Democratic Party senators or any representative, really, for that matter, any congressperson for that matter, that is at the end of the day doing anything. I wish they were doing this in the appropriate moment, which was, 2 weeks ago. That would have been cool.
We have to redeem the dream. We have to excite people again. He, in the highest office of our land, wants to divide us against ourselves, wants to make us afraid, wants to make us fear so much that we're willing to violate people's fundamental rights. We're willing to go after the speech on college campuses. We're willing to go after law firms, go after the freedom of the press. Don't let him do that. Don't become like him. Be an American that says, I look to the future and I'm excited. Yes, things are tough right now.
I said the same thing about AOC and Bernie's rallies. It's great that they are getting people excited. Great that they're getting people excited. It's great that they're, getting people to turn out. But you got to use that people power. You got to take that momentum you have and that energy you have around your causes and your initiatives and move it into developing mechanisms of pushback, mechanisms of pressure, whether that be labor organizing, union organizing, community organizing, or whether that be individual issues that you give voice to. Says you, like what? I like that people are saying, like what, as I'm in the process of describing, as I have described time and time again. And this is a worse version of what they're doing, what AOC and Bernie are doing anyway. I'm glad that they're doing this, but we need more. Also, ironically enough, a lot of people think I'm a politician, I think, or have any sort of power in changing the outcomes of the legislative body. Like, I yell at the Democrats every day. I yelled at the Democrats for capitulating to the Trump agenda and not using the one weapon that they had to push for concessions from the Republicans when they had the budget. I'm not a politician. I'm not within these caucuses. I can't talk to my coworkers who are also politicians and get them to be on board. I wish I had that power. But if I had that power, Chuck Schumer wouldn't be the minority leader in the Senate. And even if he was, he would be listening to me, don't you think?
Or right now?
I think he just wants to be relevant.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
thirsty.
that the progressive group has gotten so much attention lately. I think he's seeing like all these younger people or people who are new in Congress.
It's so funny. People go, okay, you got to run for office. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? If I ran for office, I couldn't do the most effective thing I do every day. If I did anything else, I would not be able to do the thing that I'm the most effective at.
Get all this attention, like AOC, she's not new, but she's always out there. Jasmine Crockett is new. We're hearing a lot from her. I think he's doing this so that we all cover it on the morning show and he gets some attention.
But can I just bring up one other thing? If you want attention, Lindsey Graham showed you the template. John McCain showed you the template. Joe Manchin showed you the template. You go out and you make news and you say things that are relevant.
Dude, Claudia streams every day. Come on. You're comparing me to the president of Mexico, chatter. What are you talking about? She wasn't a streamer that became the president of Mexico. She became the president of Mexico and is using the pre-existing streaming network that she has surrounding her. What are you talking about? This is not... You have to be Joe. It was a joke. Okay. Oh my God. I can't tell because I feel like people are so stupid. Not saying you need to run for office, but we can stream while running for office. You get record numbers. You are wrong. You're just not correct. Oh my God. This is what I mean. People are just like, it's fine, Hasan. I'm lazy. Dude, I stream 8 hours a day. I do agitprop 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, motherfucker. Bro, you're straight. You're just lazy. That's why you won't do more. No, you all at the end of the day still believe in a singular person being a leader that is going to change everything magically. I can't even change the politics of the website that I'm one of the largest content creators on. What are we talking about?
And then all the reporters follow you around, Hillary Vaughn and everybody else. They go, okay, we got to get this interview. But just doing a filibuster saying, I really have no agenda, I'm just going to rail against the administration overnight. It's like I'm volunteering to do something when no one's watching. Right. So congratulations. I don't know who your PR guy is. Well, just go stay active.
He has been active. He's been going at it for 11 hours and 12 minutes.
Today.
But if he wants to break the record, he's got to go another 13 hours because Strom Thurmond actually broke the record. He holds the record. He filibustered for 24 hours and 18 minutes back in
Nancy Pelosi
1957. Strom Thurmond was railing against the Civil Rights Act.
Remember when Nancy Pelosi did it in those 4-inch high heels all night?
Right.
That's a workout.
But I will say this, next hour we will play that Strom Thurmond filibuster. We'll play the whole thing top to bottom.
Why is he laughing? Why are you laughing? You think that's funny? Segregationist Strom Thurmond's filibuster? What was he filibustering? Funny, huh? Why is that so funny to you? That's a funny joke? That's crazy. I'm sorry. A black news commentator on Fox News laughing about this douchebag being like, oh yeah, segregationist Strom Thurmond's filibuster is actually the record-breaking filibuster. What was he filibustering? Oh my God. How funny. Oh, that's right. He was doing a filibuster intended to prevent the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1957. Oh, that's funny. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Imagine being that racist, by the way. Imagine being that racist where you were just like, no thanks. Didn't Strom Thurmond also literally have a half-black child too, like a secret child? Am I crazy? Yeah, Ezzie Mae Washington Williams was an American teacher and author. She was the eldest child of Strom Thurmond, governor of South Carolina and longtime U.S. senator known for his pro-segregation politics. Of mixed race, she was born to Carrie Butler, a 16-year-old African-American girl who worked as a domestic servant for Thurmond's parents. And Thurmond, then 22 and unmarried. Ezzie Mae grew up in a family of one of her mother's sisters. He did statutory black woman that worked for his family. Washington Williams did not reveal her father's identity until she was almost 78 years old after Thurmond's death at the age of 100 in 2003. Hell is not hot enough for demons like this. Yeah, you know who eulogized them, by the way? That guy, this piece of. You know who eulogized him at his funeral in 2003? Joe Biden. Joseph Robinette Brandon. That's who. Joe Biden loved this guy. Joe Biden also wrote a lot of the draconian laws in the 80s, 90s, and onwards. Destroyed the black community. Alongside this dipshit. American politics is so messed up. It's so messed up. It's so crazy. And liberals yelled at you for bringing this stuff up where you're like, maybe he's not the best guy.
Good idea.
But haha, very funny. He thinks it's funny.
People would love that.
Do that on your radio show.
Right. Oh, I can't do that. That would be a bad idea.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian